As consumers of cinema, we are captivated by the conflict between the honorable protagonist and insurmountable antagonist in pursuit of a final goal. Generally, both parties make conscious, actionable decisions towards their respective goals. However, in the Coen brothers' No Country for Old Men and Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, the antagonistic forces surrender their decision-making in favor of an external determination of fate, the coin flip. We're going to look at fatalism, break down the antagonist's justifications and the problems that come with them, and compare their convictions. But before we dive in, I'll give a quick overview of both films. No Country for Old Men, released in 2007, follows a trio of characters in a cat-and-mouse chase across Texas in the year 1980. Llewellyn Moss, a rural man who discovers a briefcase full of cash in the fallout of a drug deal gone wrong and ends up in over his head. Anton Chigurh, a hitman for the cartel sent to recover the money and who is known to stop at nothing, and Ed Tom Bell, the town's long-tenured sheriff who finds the modern world unrecognizably savage. The Dark Knight, released the following year, portrays the fictional Gotham City in its darkest hour, with petty crime being cast aside in favor of mass terror. Batman, the businessman turned vigilante, must confront the Joker, his most unpredictable and violent opponent yet, who manipulates Gotham District Attorney Harvey Dent into turning against the city he protects. For this video, I'll be focusing on the moral convictions between antagonists Anton Chigurh and Harvey Dent. They both believe in destiny and act according to what they consider to be universal decisions. The coin, a symbol of chance used throughout history due to an immunity to bias, is the true weapon of choice for both Chigurh and Dent. Both antagonists believe the outcome of the coin absolves all personal guilt and responsibility from killing those who stand in their way. To both, the coin flip represents a pure indication of fate through random chance. Fatalism, or the idea that all events are predetermined and inevitable, is integral to both narratives and a core aspect of the moral conviction of each antagonist. To Anton Chigurh, fate represents a connected chain of events and choices which a person follows unknowingly. To Harvey Dent, fate acts as a judge, providing a verdict of universal justice. In either case, encountering the respective antagonist is not only a matter of fate, but of life or death. Anton Chigurh personifies total inhumanity. While it is impossible to fully understand his motivations, Chigurh acts according to a belief system that fate and chance are intrinsic to the operations of the universe, ethics and morality notwithstanding. He views humans as disposable and chooses certain victims based on their level of utility to himself and his cause. It is within Chigurh's justification that he may kill in order to carry out what the universe has determined to happen, primarily in pursuit of the task he has been assigned. Recovering the money is the only duty he feels responsible to uphold, and every victim he encounters becomes a step to overcome in order to reach Llewellyn and the briefcase. In instances of necessity, Chigurh surrenders the weight of murder to the mission and pushes on. In instances where he is inconvenienced, Chigurh follows the fate of the universe to indicate how he should proceed. Chigurh is seen determining life and death with and without consultations of fate. In the famous gas station scene, Chigurh is inconvenienced by the proprietor's small talk, an example of his disregard for sociality. Take a look.
What way would that be?
I seen you was from Dallas.
What business is it of yours? Where I'm from? Friendo? What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
Sir?
The most you ever lost on a coin toss?
I don't know. I couldn't say.
Call it.
Call it.
Yes.
For what?
Just call it.
The proprietor chose correctly, but Chigurh's ill impact is ever present. On the flip side, Chigurh is known to kill outright. Here he kills a businessman.
Are you going to shoot me?
That depends. Do you see me?
Comparing both of these interactions, it can be derived that Chigurh views himself as an agent of fate, regardless of a tangible representation of chance. and that flipping a coin is simply a conscious choice towards an unconscious cause. Harvey Dent personifies justice to an extreme. Eventually known as Two-Face, Dent had a foundational career as Gotham's district attorney, ultimately becoming a symbol of justice as Gotham's White Knight. His belief in justice and fairness led him to not only pursue Gotham's criminal groups, but Batman as well. This belief turns Dent into a villain after he's misled by the Joker, which ends in Rachel's death.
Rachel!
Harvey. Okay.
Rachel!
Harvey, it's okay. It's all right. Listen. Someone...
Rachel's death hits Dent personally, causing him to reframe his beliefs on fairness and prompting his transformation into Two-Face. This reframing involves a turn of belief from fate being determined by a judicial power to it being determined through external means, or in other words, by chance. As district attorney, Dent carried a trick coin in order to draw out criminal confessions. This behavior evolved into Dent's characteristic coin flip, used to determine the fate of his victims. Dent believes in a full surrender of morality, as he states.
It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair! You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time. But you were wrong. The world is cruel, and the only morality in a cruel world is chance. Unbiased, unprejudiced, fair.
This is later challenged by Batman.
You're the one pointing the gun, Harvey. So point it at the people responsible.
Batman's response highlights a major fallacy regarding both Dent and Sugar's mentalities regarding fate, in which there is no real surrendering of personal action when an individual acts on chance, as an action is taking place through that individual nonetheless. His beliefs could be attributed to psychopathy, similar to how Sugar is described.
Yeah, he's a psychopathic killer, but so what? There's plenty of them around.
Though they both represent a greater concept of twisted moral conviction. Both Dent and Sugar exhibit strong beliefs as to how the world works, with Dent's aforementioned claim on chance, and Sugar's claim that he doesn't have some way to put it.
That's the way you want to put it.
I don't have some way to put it. That's the way it is.
They both feel a sense of awakening, or rather, they see the world for how it is more purely than the other characters. This strong conviction, accompanied by a surrendering of responsibility to chance, makes the two antagonists more dangerous and unstoppable than those driven only by malice. They can do anything, and, as agents of fate, go as far as to murder recklessly while facing no ethical repercussions. They have become transient, bound only by the arbitrary nature of the coin.